Hi everyone, welcome to Yogi Buds Fitness Day 17 of the 30-day yoga challenge.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you want to travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us?
So let's begin the practice by going to the all fours. So palms below your shoulders and the knees below the hip. So here you extend your right leg up and back. And then exhale, knee to your right upper arm. So you have to activate the side waist. Inhale, lift the leg up. So we'll do this four rounds. Exhale, knee to your right upper arm. Inhale for the third set. Exhale, again activate the side body. Last one, inhale, bring the leg up. So activate your back. And exhale, knee to your right. And then place the foot on the outer side of your hand and push the hip forward. You can adjust the left knee an inch or two backward so you have space to sink the hip more and stretch the hip deeper. So you can just stay here. You feel the pose, you feel the body. If you don't feel enough, then you can just go down on your forearms. You just make sure you're not forcing the back, you're not forcing the right hip. You can have space to breathe, where your breath can flow naturally. And then have your palms back to the floor. Curl that left foot, lift the knee off the mat. And then send your right leg backward and up to your one-legged dog. Then exhale, you move your knee forward. Then hunch your shoulders, belly in, and step the foot forward. Now spin that left foot down. Align your back arch, the left arch with your right heel. Bend your right knee above the foot and come up to warrior pose 1. So you sink your hip. Square the pelvis, your shoulders. Now have your hands here behind your pelvis and squeeze your shoulders inward, broadening the chest, extending the hands downward. Now on your exhale, you bend forward, move your head as low as you can, then push the arms upward. So stay here for 3 breaths and don't let the hip push out to the side, so you have to keep it in line with your hip or in line with the feet. Now coming up to your warrior pose 1. Hands over the head. Take your palms down on the floor and then bring that right leg next to your left on a plank pose, activating your core muscles. Lower down to your half plank, or you can take your knees down. Then push your chest upward. Press the shins, the feet, and the hip down. Exhale, go to your down dog. So again adjust this pose if you need to, or if your legs, your whole body is ready, then you can just stay still. Now going down to your all fours, lift that left leg up and back, activating your back muscles, your glutes and hamstrings. Exhale, knee forward to your left upper arm. Inhale, bring it up and back, look forward. Exhale, crunch the side body. Inhale, bring it up. So third set. Exhale, bring it into the side. Last one, bring it up and back. Exhale, move it forward. So going to the lizard pose, you step the foot on the outer side of the mat. Bring the right leg backward. Then again, push your hips down. You can just stay here. Or again, you know your option, depends on how the hip is responding on this pose. Also the back. If the back and hip are not comfortable as you take your forearms down, then meaning that's too much. So you have to back off. Take your hands again on the floor, straighten your elbows, curl your right foot and extend your right knee. Then bring the left leg upward. Exhale, knee forward, hunch your shoulders, and then take your foot at the center of your palms. Spin your right heel down. Once you check your feet alignment, you come up and bring the arms upward to your warrior pose 1. Now hands behind you. Again, lace the fingers, extend the elbows down and try to open your chest. Breathe out, you fold forward. So hinge from the waist, hands up. Staying here for 3, 2, and then 1. You bring your body upright, pushing down through the left foot, arms over the head, and then take your palms down to the top of your mat. Left leg steps backward next to your right, keeping your whole body straight as you lower down to your half plank. Push the mat and lift your chest, bend backward to your out dog. Tuck your toes under, lifting the hip back, decompress or elongate your upper body. Breathe in and breathe out continuously through your nostrils. Keep every breath long and slow. Look forward and step your feet to the top of the mat. Hands on your shins, elongate the spine, inhale, exhale, fold over. Inhale, lift the chest, arms reaching out as you press the feet down. Exhale, hands to your sides. Again, bring the arms upward, inhale, then exhale, you fold forward. Inhale, you open your chest, palms on the floor, exhale, return to your plank, going down to your low plank. Breathing in, open your chest, press the feet and the shins down. Breathing out, curl your toes and return to down dog. Now on the inhale, step your right foot forward, spin the left foot out, and come up on your warrior pose 1. From here, going back to your humble warrior pose, take your palms together behind the hip, opening your chest, and then exhale, bending forward, moving the head down. Take 3 breaths here. Go deeper by sliding the foot away from the right foot. And then here, take your palms on the floor on the inner side of your foot and begin to walk your hands 45 degrees to the left without moving your hip. So extend your hands or extend the side body and the arms like the down dog, pushing the floor while you maintain the hip. From here, take your hands back to the top of your mat, set your right hand on the outer side, and then begin to walk the right foot to the left, drop the right hip down, and turn the left femur bone inward to balance the hip. So pigeon pose. Again, if you're more flexible, your heel should move away from the hip. If you're tight, then do the opposite. But just stay upright as you can without putting too much compression on your lower back. So navel in and breathe naturally. Then have your forearms down on the floor as you lean forward, or you can straighten the elbows forward and lower your chest and the head on the mat. So this will stretch the right hip. As you stay here, continue turning or continue adjusting the left thigh bone, rotate it down and extend it backward. And then walk your hands backward to lift you up. Straighten the left leg forward. Take your right leg and cross it over or put it over the left thigh and adjust your sit bones backward. So try to take your knees together and take the right heel close to the side of your hip. Now extend your arms upward, inhale. Then on the exhale, you bend forward, see if you can touch your toe. So once you have your toe, walk your sit bones backward again to have more space for the hip bone to roll forward. Now bend, or you can just stay here. Others, you can move your head closer to your leg, as long as you're not forcing the back. So just allow the hips, allow the hamstring to stretch. Now you come up, after a couple of breaths, you take your heel towards the hip or beside the hip. So readjust the hip and see that you keep your thigh bones together. And see if you can move your feet as far apart as they can. That will stretch your glutes. So sit straight and upright. Then from here you walk your right hand towards the side and lower the elbow as you bring the left hand up over the head. So as you go down lower to the side, the more you can feel the stretch of the left side body. Keeping the left elbow straight. And then coming up, extend your arms over the head just to lengthen and exhale, hands down. So from here you swing the right leg backward, followed by the left, going back to your plank, and then lower down to half plank. Pushing your chest up again, inhaling, and exhaling, return to your down dog. So we'll do the same thing on the left. You take the left leg forward as you flatten the right heel down. Come up to warrior pose 1. Balance the hip, your shoulders, then take your hands behind the hip. Inhale, broadening your chest, squeezing in your shoulders. Then exhale, you fold forward, moving the arms upward. Again, 3 breathing cycles on this pose, keeping the legs and the hip strong and steady. Next one, you take your palms on the floor, push the mat, straighten the back, and begin to walk your hands 45 degrees to the right. Maybe you can move your head down, but again, notice that you don't push the hip or rotate the hip towards the left. Keep it as it is as you fold your body. Take your hands back to the top of your mat, set the left hand on the outer part, and then take your right foot on the right side and drop the left hip bone down. Again, just take your time to arrange your pose. Balance the hips so you don't put too much pressure on the lower back body. Chest upright, sink your hip bone. Breathe naturally. Now from here you lean forward. You know your options here. You just have to lower your chest as low as you can, just to create length on the back body. And as you go lower, you can feel more stretch, deeper stretch on the left hip. Now take your palms to the floor, push your chest up, and then from here you straighten your right leg forward, and then put the left leg over your right thigh. Again, bringing the heel close to your hip. You pull your sit bones backward, sit straight. Inhale, you raise the arms upward, then exhale, you bend forward. So have your toes, maybe move lower. So inch by inch movement, combining it with your breath. And then bring the body up. You just maintain the left leg as you fold the right leg towards the other side of the hip. Still keeping your spine straight, take your left hand down to the side and the right hand up and over the head. So the lower you bend, the more you can feel this part of the body. The hip, your lats, up to your arm. And then bring yourself up. Take your hands on the floor. Swing that left leg backward, followed by the right. Moving on to your plank and then low plank. Inhale, you push the floor, lifting the chest. Exhale, return to your down dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. From here, take your knees down on the floor. Move your hip to one side and swing the legs forward. Next, you hug your left leg to your chest as you keep the right leg straight and place your foot here on top of the thigh, rolling the thigh bones outward. So you have to flex your foot as you do this pose. And then arms over the head. You bend forward. As you bend forward, you can adjust your hip bone again. And for others who are more flexible on the hip and shoulders, you can try wrapping the hand, the left arm around the hip and see if you can hold your foot. Or you can use a strap. Or you can just simply bend forward, hold your toe, or just drop your hands on your shin. Now you lift your chest up, walk your palms backward and lean backward as you lift the chest, and then bend your leg closer to your chest. So as you move closer to the legs and the legs moving closer to the body, you can feel stretch of the hip on the left side of your hip. And then from here you just have to walk your foot towards the left side of the mat and then bring the top foot higher towards the hip bone. You can pull your glutes back again to tilt your pelvis forward. And then from here, if your knee is really high, then you're not yet ready on this pose. So what you should do is to do more hip openings. So I've posted hip stretches on the previous class. I think you can do it again if you want to open your hips first before doing this pose. So if your knee is okay, if it's down on the leg without any pain on your knee joint, on your ankle, then you can pull the foot up over the other leg. So as you bring it up, so this is your full lotus. So let me face forward. You set your hands here beside your hip, a little bit forward, not in line with the hip, but in line with the middle of your thighs. And what you should do here is to perform pushing action on the hands like doing plank. Combine that with cat pose action, rounding of the back. So navel in, flex your chest as you push the mat. And then you squeeze your lower belly, the inner thighs, to lift the legs upward. So palms on the floor. You pull your knees toward your chest, so you round the back, activating the hip flexors and squeeze the leg bones together to activate your inner thigh muscles. And then you lean forward and lift the hip up. Cat pose the back and stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. So you have to continue pulling the leg bones up, pulling the navel in. And then release the pose. Now from here you just have to let go of your legs. Extend the thighs. You can roll the thighs in. Or roll your ankles out and in. So we'll do that on the opposite leg. So you fold the the right leg and place the foot over your left thigh. Again, you adjust your sit bones backward. For some, you can wrap your hand around the foot and hold your toe. Or wrap your hand around the hip and hold the foot. Or you can just simply bend forward and catch the left foot. So it's completely up to you. Now you fold forward, going down slowly. Again, focus on lengthening the spine as you fold forward. And then you lift the chest, it bumps backward, and then you bend the leg. So bring the legs and the body forward towards the midline and stay here for 3 breaths. So this will stretch the glutes. Without glute flexibility, you cannot really force the lotus pose to happen. You will just going to hurt your knee or your ankle. And then from here, you just walk the left foot towards the right side of the mat where you place the knee down. If the knee can touch the foot comfortably, then you're good to go. If not, then do more hip stretches. So you take your foot slowly on top of the right. So while you pay attention on your joints. So if it's hurting the joints as you do your lotus, then remove the foot. Or remove the leg, put it down. So hands on the floor beside your hip. Again, pull the knees up. So rounding the backs, activating the lower belly, or actually the entire front of the body. Then you lean forward. I forgot to tell you, spread out your fingers to improve your base so you don't hurt the wrist. Now lift the hip by squeezing the midsection. So continue pushing the floor. Move your shoulder blades apart by flexing the chest. And then release the pose. So again, let go of your legs. Extend. Again, you can shake the legs. You can roll your feet, your ankles. And then the last arm balance is almost the same action as the first one. We'll be using the arms and of course the front side of the body. And we'll just keep the legs straight instead of moving it on a half lotus, a full lotus. So take your hands to the floor. We'll just do the drill first. So you have to keep doing these drills for you to build muscle memory and enough strength so that you can do the pose easily. So hands on the floor. Again, just a little bit forward, not beside the hip. And then the first thing is we'll be lifting the feet forward and up towards the chest. So push the floor, rounding the back, and then lift. You will do it one leg first. So one leg up. So you have to contract your quads, your abdomen. You have to push the floor and contract your chest. So exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. So make sure you're pushing the floor with your hands. Inhale, down. We'll do it again. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. This time we'll do it with both legs. Inhale, exhale, lift the legs, round the back. Inhale, down. We'll do that 3 times. Inhale, exhale, push the floor, round the back, lower the legs down. So you can feel the shaking action happening here on the core, on the legs. If that's too much for the thighs, then meaning you're not yet ready for this pose. So you need to do more of this to build more strength. Again, final set, round the back, and then down. And finally, the hip. We keep the feet first on the floor, and then we just have to push the mat, pull the hip up, and drag it backward, pull it backward. So inhale, on the exhale, you push the floor, lift the hip. So like what you did with your lotus pose, you pull the hip and bring it backward. So bring the hip up and back. Inhale, down. Exhale, bring it up. So drag the feet and the hip back. Inhale, down. One more time. Exhale, lift. And then down. And then let's try to do the pose. If you cannot do the pose yet, then again you have to continue doing these exercises so that you build enough strength. So let's try. So either you lift the feet up first, then followed by the hip, or the hip up first, then followed by the leg. Or you can lift the legs and the hip simultaneously. So we'll try all those options. So here you lift the feet up first, lean forward and lift the hip. Or you can lift the hip up first, lean forward and pull the feet up. Lift the hip, pull the feet up. Or you can do it simultaneously. Lift the feet and the hip at the same time. So inhale, exhale, lift. So hold. And then release. So you can really feel every muscle of your front working. So the arms, the quads, hip flexors, your abdominal muscles. So again, after that, we'll lie down and relax the body. So go and lie down on your mat. Just extend the legs forward. Have your hands beside the hips. Again, soften your shoulders, relax your legs. Close your eyes and relax your whole body. Slowly and gently inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. And begin to move your toes. your fingers. Extend your arms upward and stretch your whole body for the final time. Bend your knees. Turn to your right. And come up slowly. So that's the end of our practice. So thank you everyone for sticking around and sharing your time and your energy with me. Hope to see you guys again next time. Namaste.